Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Tuesday, October 19th, 2010, a cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Archives, top of the page, eye candy archives, right below what you're looking at right now. Dave's weather forecast in the corner along with the audio on iTunes, and you can get us on your mobile phone, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of information about the mobile phone and the new radio station in just a couple of minutes, so stick around. We're going back on the air in less than a week now, Monday, October 25th, 10 to 1, 10 in the morning until 1, on the big 550 KTRS Election Day, now just 2 weeks away. And thank God this will all be over. When I say it, I'm talking about the TV commercials. Already. All right, let's get right to the business at hand here. I'm going to the big 550 KTRS, and there was a lot of discussion for the last 5 years while the Cardinals were on KTRS from people primarily in Metro East who were saying that they couldn't hear the games. Well, a couple of issues. First of all, KTRS's daytime signal is one of the most strong signals in this region. It is a stronger signal daytime than KMOX, for example. Now at night that completely changes, but during the day is what I care about because I'm on the air from 10 in the morning until 1. And I was in Champaign-Urbana a couple of months ago, and it sounded like the station was coming right in. But I got another thing for you here, because if you are in a situation where you don't have an AM radio, or you can't get AM in your office building, or maybe you're not available at that time of day from 10 to 1 when the new show is going to be on, we have a solution if you have a smartphone. You have a smartphone. It's as simple as downloading a free app called TuneIn Radio. Just spell it out. TUNEIN Radio. TuneIn Radio. That is your app. Free app. No strings attached. No funny business or anything like that. You will get 40,000 radio stations from around the world, including KTRS, and there is a 2-hour record function. So you could just pull out your smartphone. You could be at a business meeting. You could be anywhere. You just hit the little record button and bango, you've got 2 hours. Then you got to come back and pick up the third hour of the show and record that too. But that's a nice little function, a 2-hour record function, and then you can listen to it whenever you want. You're creating your own podcast in essence. So there it is. And of course, you can also listen to the new show online at ktrs.com. But if you have a smartphone, get that app, TuneIn Radio. It's free, and go nuts. Well, a couple of years ago, they went to Mike Bush and they said, you're just so popular, Mike. How do you feel about doing news instead of sports? And he finally said yes. And so Mike has been anchoring on Channel 5. Well, monkey see, monkey do, because Channel 4 is doing it now with Steve Savard. Steve Savard, the muscular sports guy. I like Steve. He's a good guy. And, he didn't embarrass himself, that's for sure. Seemed to have a command of the facts. Where this all starts to get a little funky is when you have a breaking news story. Say it's the 10 o'clock news and all of a sudden something explodes or a plane crashes or something like that. Then you have to go off the teleprompter and then you have to know something. And if it's an international story, it gets more complicated than that. I'm just wondering if Zipper Zeppa is going to pop back up, It's like, another American soldier killed in Afghanistan. Let's go to the videotape. And by the way, is it just me? Or is KMOV bucking for the title of ugliest news team? Now, I'm not talking about Savard, but they got this Maggie Crane, Claire Kellett, who, one of these people, somebody told her, smile all the time. This woman looks like she went to bed with a coat hanger in her mouth. How about you smile when it's appropriate? Because people are talking, she's just like, that only gets you so far, Claire. And then on top of it, the most nasally person to come along since the Octomom. She sounds like Miley Cyrus doing the news. You can't go back and ring a bell. You can't go back and ring a bell. When they do the weather, they ought to start doing the forecast for the upper Great Lakes region, because Channel 4's news from time to time is starting to look like it's coming out of Stevens Point, Wisconsin. And it goes right to the top. And it's also just, counterbalancing and wiping out the good work that people like Kent Earhart or Kristen Cornett are doing. They're being overshadowed by this small market crap. And by the way, back to Channel 5, more than a month after installing a new computerized system at Channel 5 that shows the video and runs sound bites and news clips and stuff like that, a month later, and the thing still doesn't work. It's just dead air and things freezing up and anchor people just sort of like, you know, Channel 5's Casey Nolan has the story. And nothing's on the screen. You're sitting there looking, and the poor anchor person is just sitting there. What do I do? Somebody tell me what to do. Do we have the tape or we not? Just don't let me sit here. And they're giving awards to one another. Best use of dead air by an anchor person while the computer won't run what it's supposed to run. I'm just saying. All right, I'm skipping that story, I'm skipping that story, and I'm skipping that story, because we got other stuff to get to. Oh, did you see this Sharon Angle tape? This is the woman running against Harry Reid in Nevada, and they're trying to run Harry Reid out of a job, and so they bring around this Tea Party gal, Sharon Angle, who, up until now, has said a myriad of some of the most stupid things. You think Christine O'Donnell or Sarah Palin or George Bush said and did dumb things. This Sharon Angle is completely rewriting the book on that stuff, and they put her up in front of a Hispanic student union, okay, the Hispanic student union, and she gets up there and says, "Well, a lot of you look Asian to me." God. And then she tried to say that from time to time she, a white woman who just looks like, you know, the woman watering her lawn next door, was trying to say that she's been mistaken for being Asian. You could hear the audible groans by these students in the Hispanic Student Union. Oh boy. Am I the only one not surprised about this Facebook security issue? All right, let's get to the news. A Canadian woman is the first to undergo an operation in which doctors cut her body in half to remove a tumor. Who's doing surgeries in Canada now? David Copperfield? Jerry Springer. I refuse to put myself through the Jerry Springer show, and I know a lot of people just did it. I don't know what you were thinking. So Springer is finally sort of copping to some of the stuff that went on during his goofy talk show, including the fact that guests on the Jerry Springer show aren't completely blindsided when they come on. Because, you know, you've all seen the clips, even if you didn't watch the show. You've seen the clips, it's like, all right, well, let's bring Bobby out. He was the guy that wouldn't go out with you in 9th grade. And then Bobby comes out, and the guy looks like, huh, where'd you find Bobby? All that sort of stuff. Well, Springer is now saying that everyone on the show is told ahead of time in front of lawyers, and that they have to sign everything, by the way. If there's going to be a surprise, they're giving a list. They gave them a list of 21 possible surprises. They have to agree to all of the possibilities. They don't know which of the 21 it's going to be. If there's any one of them they can't handle, they can't go on the show, and that's fine. So they say, okay, it's like, all right, what do we got for this kid today? They say, all right, the girl in junior high who pulled his pants down in gym class, we got her backstage. And so now they come out with a list of 20 other bogus possibilities, and people have to, like, sign on to that. There's certain things I just don't understand anymore, folks. All right, today is Celebrity Tuesday. We do it every Tuesday here at The Daily Dose, jc'ontheline.com, and you know the rules. It's got to be somebody they actually got to spend some time with, as opposed to just like a little 10-minute interview or something like that. And today, this is not really it's not really up to par, and it's also very short. But I got to tell you this story. I don't know what made me think of this. I think I was looking at some old tapes, picking stuff for the Video Village and the Wayback Machine. But today we're going to talk about Steven Seagal. Okay, the action star. All right, so I think he made his first movie somewhere around 1988, and we were doing a show live from St. Patrick's Day at Houlihan's in West County. And my friend Bob Lieberman, who was the Warner Brothers rep here, he said, we got this guy coming to town, Steven Seagal. I'm like, I've never heard of him. He's a big action, he's going to be a huge action star. Sure, bring him down, whatever. So we got a couple of hundred people all, you know, half blitzed. To use a nice contemporary phrase, just hammered. Don't even know their names anymore. It's St. Patrick's Day. They're just whacked out on green eggs and green beer, and then walks this dude. And he's a very handsome-looking guy, especially back then. Yeah, he comes in, couldn't have been nicer, sort of went along with the whole thing, seemed to be sort of amused by the fact that we're all standing there at St. Patrick's Day and all this stuff is going on, and he's on the air. He just seemed to be looking around like, what do you guys got going here? So he was sort of, I think he just thought the whole thing was sort of funny. So we do the interview on radio. It goes well enough. I'm like, oh, well, I'll see you later today back at the TV station because I wanted to do a separate piece for Channel 5 where I was working at the time. So sure enough, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I go back downtown, 10th and Market. In walks Steven Seagal again. Hey, how you doing? You sobered up? You know, all that sort of stuff. And so we get into the interview. Got the cameraman behind me. Everything's set up. There's Steven Seagal. Got the lights and everything. And we start talking. And he had done a movie with Sharon Stone, who did have, and still has, but especially back then had a reputation for being somewhat difficult to work with. So I said to her, I'm asking questions. I go, well, tell me about working with Sharon Stone. And without missing a beat, he just looks at me and goes, she's a cunt. I was like, what? Looking back at the camera, and hey, you sure we got that? Karen Foss will love seeing that on the 10 o'clock news tonight. Like, really? And he went off on a rant about her. And I'm laughing, and we're good. And then he said the oddest thing to me, right in the middle of the interview, he says, you know, if you lived in Los Angeles, you and I would hang out. I told you it was short. That's my Steven Seagal story here on Celebrity Tuesday. All right, JC's Video Village, we're back to 1988. I think I said 93 yesterday. That's a mistake. Thanks, Ted. 1988, and Harold Ramis from Ghostbusters and lots of other movies, co-wrote Animal House, was in town to get an honorary degree from his alma mater, Washington University. 1988 interview with Harold Ramis. We spent a lot of time talking about stripes. Wayback Machine, early 90s TV commercial for Casey featuring Smash, Smash, Digging the Smash. And our old school photo goes back to 1989 for the racist, violent, religious nutcase Mel Gibson. All right, JC's Eye Candy. You know, people go to Vegas all the time and they come back, oh, I'm up, I'm down, I'm whatever. And I always say, did you rent a car and do what I told you to do? Because Triple C and I did this 2 years ago. You get a car and you drive a half an hour. It's 35 minutes away. You drive and it's Hoover Dam. It is one of the most amazing things you'll ever see. And now it's become even more amazing because they have completed this bridge that's almost 900 feet over the Colorado River. It goes from one side to the other. I put a picture of the new bridge and 2 pictures that Triple C and I took during the construction when we were there 2 years ago, and that's your eye candy today. All right, again, a reminder that we are going on the air on the Big 550 KTRS at 10 o'clock in the morning beginning this Monday. On Monday, it'll be Craig Hawksley every Monday. Every Tuesday, Eric Mink. Every Wednesday, Gina Curry from Fox 2 and Channel 30, along with upcoming superstar Laura Marshall and Victoria Babu. On Thursday, comedian Joe Marlotti, and on Friday, Smash, Digging the Smash. Those will be our regular rotation of co-hosts on the new showgram on the Big 550 KTRS. That's it. Your daily dose for Tuesday, October 19th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.